Hello, and thank you for joining us today for our session, How to Build a Six-Figure Speech Writing Business. My name is Daniel Anzueto, and I'm happy to welcome you to today's session. If this is your first time attending one of our workshops, let me provide some context on Startout. Startout accelerates the growth of the LGBTQ plus community to drive our economic empowerment, building a world where every LGBTQ plus entrepreneur has equal access to lead, succeed, and shape the workforce of the future. I'm excited to introduce our host for today, Marina Samos. Marina Samos is a creator of the 1-minute talk method for client attraction. She recovered from face-down failure to grow a multiple six-figure business and become an internationally recognized speaking to income coach and speechwriter. With her hardworking team, she has helped clients increase revenue by more than $30 million combined. Marina is also an Emmy-nominated former TV news producer, and her client successes have been featured everywhere from TEDx to TEDx Entrepreneur and Oprah Magazine. The floor is yours, Marina.
Welcome, everybody. Now, I know that sometimes we writers like to just be writers in the background, but I am going to invite you all. And this is actually part of becoming a six-figure speechwriter, is learning how to talk in a way that attracts six-figure clients. So I'm going to invite you all to come off, to show up on camera. Show up on camera, that is important. So Strother is from Denver, public speaker, curious, excellent. Alex, San Diego, started out looking forward. Excellent. All right. So first things first, before we start, I'm going to share screen, but to kind of help me to help you, please drop in chat if you are already doing writing as a business, whatever that looks like, marketing comms, blogging for somebody, anything that falls under the heading of you're getting paid to write, please drop, and you're thinking about how can I transfer that into a six-figure speech writing business, please drop it in chat. New Hampshire, excellent, exploring new opportunities. Hi from Berlin, curious, research findings, excellent, come on camera in a moment, excellent. Maya, direct mail fundraising, okay, love this. Okay, let me do a quick share screen. And let me just make sure I can actually, that you're seeing what I want you to see. Okay. And here we go. So again, let me come back to, so I have like multiple screens going. I do want to make sure I really take a look. I'm going to give me a moment as I slow down here because I do want to see what people, I develop my content for a living, running online businesses, conducting, excellent. Social media, hello from Pittsburgh. Hey, Edward, hey, Maya, Lester. Okay, great. Okay, so let's get into this. Today we're going to take a quick look, and this is going to also get your pen and paper, your virtual pen and paper. Ready? We're going to look at how to build a six-figure speech writing business. And here's a quick hint. The best way to write to make six figures is to write for people who are trying to make six figures. I've given you the spoiler alert. You could literally just hang out. You could just click out now, but don't, because I'm going to talk to you a little about how to make that reality. But before we do that, I just wanted to say that there was a time not long ago that I was all alone in a Starbucks, nothing sad. And because I was alone, I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to get my coffee fast, right? But as they're filling all the mobile orders, I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. Like, raise your hand if you've ever like waited and waited while they're filling the mobile orders and you're like the only person there, right? So I'm thinking, okay, I got some time here. So I pull out my phone and I read in Forbes that every year, millions of people start small businesses, and I was one of them, right? With the dream of making six figures to support their family. Okay? Sadly, however, very few, maybe 2 to 3%, make any real or consistent income. Why? Well, the details of getting clients leave them overwhelmed. For many of them, the thought of selling makes them run screaming, and they're not even sure what to sell to get to six figures, right? So they're overwhelmed, screaming, not sure what to sell to get to six figures. So I'm thinking, ouch, it's not a good look. 15 minutes later, I'm at my desk. I'm looking at my communications business, and I realize that I'm not making any real or consistent income. Why? The details of business leave me overwhelmed. The thought of selling made me run screaming. And I wasn't even sure what to sell. What form of my writing was I going to sell to make money? So for years, I was doing a wide variety of writing in my communications company. So that would be like marketing comms. I was doing like blogging, ghost writing, ghost blogging. I had a local rebrand. I had done some work for a local political candidate. And these were great clients, and they would pay me anywhere from like 5,000 up to about 120,000. But they were all kind of accidental clients, right? Like I had no control. It was like, I just happened to find one. So maybe I'd meet them at the party or like through a friend, but I said, no real control. I had a very kind of loose grip on how to make money, like how to generate revenue. So what did that mean? Even though I had a couple of really high dollar clients, the bitter reality behind the curtain was I had a lot of $0 months. I had a big pile of maxed out credit cards. At some point, I was 6 figures in debt in my business, terrified for anyone to see the true state of my finances, and wondering, like, how did this happen? Like, how is this my life? What am I missing? At one point, what I really realized is that, like, as I said, I had two big problems. One was I didn't have an offer, like a solid offer, priced in a way, multiple 5 figures to be exact, so that I could get to 6 figures by myself. I mean, I had a VA at the time, but by myself, I would have to have a handful of clients who were paying me multiple 5 figures so I could have a multiple 6-figure business. But I didn't have that offer. And in particular, the goal was to have them pay me between 30,000 and 70,000. And any of you who do writing for a living, you know how easily you can burn through a lot of hours to well earn that 30 to 70,000, right? Again, I knew that was what I needed. That was my target, which I needed if I wanted to have a 6-figure business. So the solution to this particular problem of first of all, just not knowing what to offer, instead of having a bunch of rando offerings, which is what I had, okay? The solution came one day when this doctor who I knew reached out to me and she said, I want to add coaching revenue to my business. Can you write me one of those webinars, right? One of those talks that people give. I see my peers doing it. They're making all this money. So I said, yes. And she said, of course, I need more income, right? That was the kicker. Can you write me one of these webinars? I need more income. So she paid me $30,000 for her to write me for me to write for her a webinar and signature talk, meaning like she gave it online or in person. And I also helped her find places to speak. I showed her how to price her packages, how to close, right? All the details in between, which I had started to gain from my experience, but also had done some investment in education in how to run my own business. So I gleaned a lot of this also just from my own process of education. So in her first year of using my help, she made around $112,000, and she was friggin' ecstatic. I was ecstatic. I was also incredibly relieved, right? Oh my gosh, this big investment, first time technically that I was doing this, and it worked. This was really a turning point. It really made me turn the entire focus of my writing offerings. Instead of a bunch of rando ones that just responded to them, I did what all the big entrepreneurs will tell you you have to do. You have to have, in a sense, one offering, one clear offering, and then find the audience who will buy it. And what I found was, what the market told me was, writing signature talks, webinars would be the thing. Not all 45-minute talks. Sometimes anyone that I work with, I don't just write them a 45-minute talk and send them on their way. I write them a 1-minute version of their talk, which actually became a method that I built into a whole brand. And again, as the rise of webinars revealed itself, that was, in a sense, how my business just kind of followed the market. Writing for people who are trying to make money, who are trying to do client acquisition. Now, my clients include, doctors who are, doing coaching work on the side, lawyers in private practice who have to bring in business. Everybody who's trying to bring in clients using speaking, that is my client, right? Now, some people have a natural instinct for this kind of writing, but most people languish for years and years, don't make any money, and then they hire help. And that's where I and you come in, right? This was the beginning of a new path for me, and I now get $36,000 to $75,000 for my work, and you can too. So here are two of my current clients. Their investment range from $36,000 to $60,000. I help them find their niche, write their talk word by word. I help them find speaking engagements and everything in between. I typically run 10 to 12 private clients plus a small group program. And this is how I earn 6 figures as a speechwriter. This is it in a nutshell. Again, the other problem that I kind of started to hint at, the other problem is how do you get clients? We'll talk about that later. How do you actually get those clients? Again, we'll talk about that later. But coming back to here, what was the big aha at that moment, which I've already said several times? If you want to make 6 figures as a speechwriter, write speeches that make your clients 6 figures. Let me say that again. If you want to make 6 figures as a speechwriter, write speeches that make your clients 6 figures. Okay. Now, I want to make this work for you. We're going to spend a good amount of time right now. This is really a transformational moment. I'm here to give you value. And in a sense, me showing you how I help you find your business idea. A lot of times, this is what you'll be called on as a business speechwriter to help people understand their true opportunity in the market so that you can help them write to it. Okay, so I'm going to stop share real quick. And I only see two, Maya and Antonio. You're killing me here, friends. Oh, TJ. Hi, TJ. So right now, first of all, anyone have an aha? Anyone have an idea or a question about how you could turn? Has anyone done anything like what I'm talking about? Like, first of all, either writing your own webinar or writing webinars to help people, or any kind of speech that people would use to get clients. If you've done that, okay, Maya, great. Hey, Maya. Anybody else when I wasn't looking? No. Okay. So right now, let's start to make this work for you. If everyone could drop in chat, like I said, either what you're doing right now or a question you have about how to move yourself in this direction. I want to give you some live feedback. My purpose is for you to tell me what you're doing. I'm going to read it. You can unmute. We can have a quick convo. I will please ask that, the conversation, if you're off mute and we're conversation, please self-edit, keep it super short so we can talk to a lot of people. And Maya, yeah, I develop content for a living, running online courses, excellent, conducting research, speaking on panels, workshops, excellent. So what question do you have then about how to take whatever you're doing now and take it to a next level, whatever a next level would look like? Edward, historical analysis reports. So, Simona, how can we make sure that the clients are telling us the truth? Well, yeah. Okay, so Simona, I totally hear you. So with the concern about are they making 6 figures thanks to your writing and telling us, it's kind of one of those questions like, don't worry about it. Okay, people don't tend to overstate how, if someone is paying you a lot of money, they are not inclined to tell you to inflate how much you've done for them, right? Why would they do that? If anything, you have to get them to admit or acknowledge or even thank you for helping them make as much as they've done. So I'll just tell you how I deal with that. When my clients get a sale, I simply ask them to share the screenshot of the receipt. This is my way of not being too invasive, but also being able to get just track that what I'm doing is helping them. Believe me, if they think you're not helping them make money, they'll let you know. They will let you know. So don't worry about that. It's the least of your worries. Where do you find clients? Okay, we'll talk about that later. TJ, I work with organizations and leaders to do DEI training, consulting, coaching. Let me just read this silently for a second. I also do keynotes. I have experience in that. How did the doctor find you and note to ask you for this? Okay, great. So the question, how did the doctor find you? She just somebody I knew socially. She knew I did writing. She knew that I had, I think in particular, if I remember correctly, she saw that one of my clients had become a had been featured in Oprah, and she thought she was already ready to be featured in Oprah, which she wasn't at all. But anyway, she said, "Oh, how did you do that? How did you get that client there?" And I started to tell her a little about the process. And I said, "Look, it's really about the business success first. They made money first in their business. It wasn't like they just had this idea and just floated onto Oprah. You actually have to do the work, get the clients, and that get the clients part was what caught her attention. She said, "Oh, well, I'm trying to do, getting clients. I'm running my psychiatry practice, but we're not making as much as I thought I'd be making, and I want to do coaching like I see my peers doing. I've been trying to write one of these talks, and I don't have the time. It's too hard. I don't get it. Can you help me?" And that's how that happened. Okay, so where do you find clients? Anyone want to raise their hand and have an open, oral conversation about like workshopping your idea to turn your. Is anybody thinking, actually, just to help me with this? Is anyone thinking, yeah, I want to write webinars for people? That's a great idea. I'm ready to do that. Anyone there? No? Okay, that's fine. Let me see one more message. Me too, do all the above, target audiences, nonprofits. Okay. If no one in this room is right now thinking, let me get back to this. We might do a quick course correct here, Okay. Actually, you've already heard my background. So I'll just real quick, where did I learn about messaging that gets people incredible results? Well, I cut my teeth as an Emmy-nominated TV news producer. I usually only had around 7 seconds or so to get people's attention. I produced thousands of hours of video, put thousands of people online, on TV in front of millions. I ran a communications company. My entrepreneurial journey includes real estate investment. I grew my husband's successful electrical business from scratch. And today I'm the founder of thewomanittalk.com, which again is predominantly a speaking to income service, where I help people write 1 minute or 10 second to 1 minute to and beyond so that they can grow their client-based business. My clients have ranged everywhere from absolute mommy techpreneur startups to the heads of 9-figure brands, CNN contributors. But currently I focus primarily on coaches and consultants, pro service providers. These are the people who are typically on their own to bring in clients. They want to use speaking. They don't want to go too tech heavy, and they're trying to add at least $100,000 to $300,000 to their business working alone. Again, this is my sweet spot. This is the majority of my clients. This is what they want to make before they have to get a team and get all kinds of tech involved. Of course, my most important fact about me is my beautiful family. They are the reason for everything I do. Here we are on a trip to Norway, hence my red and blue Norwegian flag hat, right? I'm also a dog mom, an LGBTQ plus ally, and I can be seen walking for blocks and blocks and blocks from my favorite oat milk cortado. And the 1 minute talk and the six-figure speech writing path has seen me go from a lot of $0 months, maxed out credit cards, to earning multiple 6 figures, speaking on stages around the world to get my clients. And what I've done, you can do. There's no difference between me and you. And just like I showed my clients, their successes were so great that they ended up everywhere from the TEDx stage to Entrepreneur and Oprah magazines. And as you can imagine, the most frequently asked question I get is, how are you related to John Stamos, right? Has anyone, raise your hand if you ask yourself, is she related to John Stamos? Did that cross anyone's mind? Okay. No, I'm not. Unfortunately, I'm not related to him. Okay. So here was going to be my next question. Assuming that there might be somebody, well, we're good. I'm still going to make this time work. We're going to jump to the how do you get clients part. I was going in the assumption that maybe people were interested in building a 6-figure speech writing business. Pardon me, with webinars and signature talks as absolutely the most natural and direct path. I was going to ask, what wins did you have for your clients? So I just shared the wins that I had for my clients. because I use those wins as part of the talks that I give to get my next clients, right? Testimonials, case studies, oldest thing in the book. And I was going to ask you, if you want to make 6 figures, share the information or share the wins that your clients have had because of your work. So let me stop share. Does anybody have, we're going to segue into it. We're just going to, I was going to suggest this as a follow-up talk, but let's just do it. How to use speaking to get clients. Is that what the group wants? You want me to talk about how to get speaking engagements? Yes. Okay, great. Okay, so first, let's do real quick. What successes have you had? What is the success that you've had for a client that you are most proud of? And I'm going to talk about how to use this information to start to build your own talk that you will use to get clients. Again, so we're going to segue right now into what was going to be a follow-up, how to segue into, or how to actually attract clients. This is my field of expertise. I am a client acquisition expert, and I've helped people. I help people at all levels of income. Some are already making 9 figures, some are a total startup. And it's funny how they all have the same problem. Doesn't matter where they are. Somehow their message has gone way off the rails. Okay. So everyone, please drop in chat. What is your couple of things that you're most proud of that you've accomplished for a client? Okay. As either you're all being very modest, any win is a win. Any transformation is a win. Okay. Okay. Let's get to this. We're going to jump right to the heavy duty stuff. And I typically work with philanthropic clients. So my clients have helped my clients mobilize 10 million to support Ukraine. Okay, great. I'm going to pose a question before I start jumping into some of the nitty gritty. And again, this is the client acquisition in a sense is fairly straightforward on paper. Obviously, the details are a little bit more complex. But before I give you my 30,000 foot perspective and then some workshopping on how to find clients, and we'll right now. Well, first of all, is anyone using public speaking? That's my first question. Is anyone using public speaking to get clients? So public speaking is literally, technically everything's public speaking. If you post something on social media, that's public speaking. But I'm really saying, like, do you actually give a webinar? Do you sign up to be the speaker? Do you get on stages? Is anyone doing that? Could anybody raise their hand if they're doing it? Okay, Rada, great. Okay, Maya, TJ, excellent, beautiful. The other thing is, ask me a question. What is your most, that might be the best way to do this. Look, friends, here it is. Here's the only thing in sense you need to know to get clients. You have to have a talk that makes it very clear how you help your client have success in one of 3 areas. Pick one: health, money, love. That's it. Health, money, and love. If you can help somebody have a better outcome, and you can frame your work through that lens, love broadly defined, relationships, health broadly defined, well-being, mental, anything, and wealth is wealth, right? Now, there's a whole world of people who are also in the purpose higher calling. I would call that the 4th category, and it is certainly an important one. It is certainly a lucrative one. When you're earlier in your journey, though, here's a hack. Here's a pro hack. Don't just say, I'm going to help you unleash your purpose and find your purpose and do your, oh my God. First of all, because I'm just going to have a heart attack, and then you'd be guilty of murder if you did that. So we don't want to do that. But the main thing is, if that is your purpose and there's no, or that is your niche, no problem. But talk about your work in a way that, and how it connects to when you connect with your purpose, how it helps you have better outcomes back to either health or money or love. Health, money, love. You can always make money helping people have better health, make more money, or find love. Okay? So I do public speaking, but I'm involved in panels. Okay, now I need questions. Give me some questions. How about different approaches depending if you're B2B, B2C? Health and love sound more related B2C. Okay, give me a question. So while I'm waiting for questions, like give me something specific. Like, how do I take my X business and find the right speaking stage, and what should I talk about? Like that's a question. Does that necessarily mean? It means love is relationships broadly defined. It can be with a friend, a pet, or no. So no, it's not just romantic love. But people who can help people find romantic love, of course, they're always going to, right? That's like kind of the whole point of this organization, right? Is like the basic human need for us to find love. Okay, I'm involved in panels. Go ahead. Did somebody? Oh, I thought Antonio, you were raising your hand. Okay. Right now, there's four basic things that you need to know. Let me do a whiteboard. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of do this. There's four basic things that you need to know to make money, to acquire clients using public speaking or any marketing. It's really, there's no difference, but we're just kind of, I just use public speaking as a way to differentiate it from things that are very tech heavy or ads or social media. Love all of those. They're all great. But if we have to figure out how to get a yes from that person right in front of us, it's also absolutely the most efficient way to get clients is to get in a room where people have self-selected to be in that room, often have paid to be in that room. That's your early adopter. That's where you want to go. And if you have to pay to be in that room, do it. That's the real elite pro move. So you need to know four things to make money. First, you need four things. You have to have an offer that's appropriately priced. That offer will get, that you don't have to sell 1 million of them or 100 of them as a solopreneur to get your goal. You should be pricing in a way, again, if you're a solo, I'm assuming that you're a solo, right? That you're doing the marketing, the closing, the fulfillment. You better be hitting your goals. I'm going to need everyone to stop. I don't know how to get people to not be, I'll just overlook the floating cursors. Okay. First of all, you need an offer. And ideally, you hit your six-figure goal with no more than 24 sales. So that's 2 per month. 24 sales max. And that's max. My clients, I shoot for 12 to 18 max. So first of all, okay, here we go. Drop in chat. What your current high ticket offer is. Okay. How much is your high ticket offer? If you don't have one that's at least $10,000, you have to change your business model. Every solopreneur must learn how to sell at least a $10,000 model, package, period. Must, non-negotiable. Okay. So once you have that 10,000, you can have a down sell for 5,000, but you at least have to have a 10,000. So you have to have an offer that 24 sales max, drop dead max, gets you to your goal. That's number one. Ooh, look at this. Everyone's dropping in there. Simona, that's okay. I'll answer these questions in a second. So first of all, everyone drop in chat. What is your high ticket offer? Helping people figure out their high ticket offer is literally what I do all day, because the niche message offer pricing, that grouping, the offer is actually the first version of the talk. That's a writer downer. The offer is the first version of the talk. Let me say that again. The offer is the first version of the talk. Everything you say, if you have 8 seconds to introduce yourself to a 3-day event, has to point back to the offer. there is nothing more beautiful than the alignment and efficiency that comes when you have such a clear idea of what your offer is, that you're not going into overwhelm. What should I talk about? Da, 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 right? You only talk about those things that point back to the offer, that echo the offer. Okay, so first you need an offer that is priced appropriately. That's the first thing. Second, you need a talk. You need a signature talk. Think about all the biggest people in every industry, whatever industry is interesting to you. They are public speakers, every one of them. Think about that. Why do they do that? And I can tell you a lot of them, when they're big enough, often they're being paid to be on that stage. But I can tell you also, a lot of them are paying to be on the right stage. Why? Because it is the most efficient way. You walk out, it's one to many, you sell. Sometimes you're selling from stage, like actually with a price, you're making a priced offer from stage, or you're doing it on the back end, meet me at the back table or get on a strategy call. So you have to have a talk that touches on people's pain points. It sounds like the thing that they're Googling in the middle of the night, that does not have acronyms and metaphors and peel the onion and bridge the gap. And oh my God, these are the things that kill messaging as far as the short form, the first few seconds. Don't do any of that. So you need a signature talk that sells. Next part, and this is the part where most people, okay, here's the hard part, is you have to be on the right stage. This is, in a sense, the real work, refreshing your audience. Where is your person? How do you keep refreshing that audience? Because once you get the offer and the talk dialed in, you're good. The next work is to get on the right stage. But then there's one other. I could have put closing. You have to know how to close. You have to know how to close. So you have the offer. You give a talk. You got to know how to close. You have to be serious about sales. You have to be, who here has as marketing a script? I'm going to drop these in chat. Oh, you're going to think that I'm kind of like going all over the place, but I'm just telling you, I'm not here to mess around. I know what it takes, and I know where people get hung up. Raise your hand if you have a closing script for when you. Okay, so please drop in chat. Today, I'm going to think about getting a closing script. That's a long thing. Just write the words closing script. Now, closing scripts, we have to take the sales process seriously. And I want to just tell you, if anyone who, when you think of closing or selling scripts, does anyone have any negative associations with that? Any kind of bad feelings about that? Please drop in chat any word that you have, any good or bad, about the closing or selling or sales scripts. Any of these words that I'm saying now, how do they make you feel? Telemarketer, TJ, Maya, way to go. Closing script, telemarketers. Okay. Everyone drop. Slimy. Okay. Cringy, pushy, entrapment. Awesome. Ick. Okay. Absolutely. I have felt all of the above. And to this day, I still feel it. But let me just tell you something right now. You heard it from me first. Or not first. I'm sure you've heard it before. You've got to let go of that. Just let go of that. A good way to stay broke or under earning in your business is to let that be your thought and then not move on from it. You have to come to the closing as two things. First of all, you have to treat it as a skill. Treat it as a skill that you build. The closing starts from the beginning time, the first time that you meet them. And you say, why am I going off on sales? The whole point of this is 6-figure. You can speak, but it doesn't turn into 6 figures or 5 figures or 3 figures or 10 figures or any figures unless you know how to close. And this is where a lot of people fall short, right? We have to just see it as an exchange. So on the script side, it is a skill that you have to build. You have to respect it. I had to learn to respect it. I had to learn to not feel that it was slimy or beneath me or anything. I shouldn't have to sell. I'm an intellectual. I'm a writer. I'm a journalist. Not some salesperson. When I thought that way, I was broke. And I was wrong. I was simply wrong. I was wrong to think that way. I was an amateur. If anyone tells you that scripts are bad, they're amateurs. Don't let any amateurs tell you that scripts are wrong. And also don't let any pros tell you that they don't use scripts. They all use scripts. They may call it a syntax, they may call it a structure, but you have to take that seriously. And what we say in the offer, what we start in the offer in the talk, these words that are in that offer in the talk also have to find their way into the sales script. So I'll stop there on the sales script, just because I know that's where so many people fall short. They come into coaching or they come into this process thinking being good at their work is enough. I made my pretty little website and my pretty little logo, and that should be enough, right? And I really care and I really serve people. That should be enough, right? No, it's not enough. Sometimes it's enough. Some people get lucky, but that's not the norm. So you have to take the business side seriously. So what do you need? You need an offer. You need a talk. You need to know how to close, and you have to get on the right stage. That's it. That's the whole business model. You can build an empire. And I've helped many of my clients build empires. And maybe the empire for them was they have a, $500,000 a year corporate job, but they hate it and they're trying to get out of it. And they're asking me, how can you help me start my side hustle and get that up to a similar amount so I can leave this place? Or how can I make enough money to retire my husband? How can I make enough money to leave my abusive spouse? How can you, whatever it is, right? So offer, talk, main marketing asset, closing, and the stage. Okay, let me get back to it. Let me get back to your questions. Okay, because I often work, this market is different, but I think still possible. I work pay to play the other day. We need to Google this. I'm over it now. This year, I'm focused on learning as much as I can about marketing, sales, and business systems. Okay. Okay, so let's do some workshopping, friends. Again, I have so much material. I could literally start talking and not shut up, but I want to just somebody raise your hand. Just take the leap. This like say, I want to learn. Let me do some live coaching. Let me just show you in a sense like what I do with my clients. Who wants to add? First of all, raise your hand if you want to add $100,000 to your income. I'm not saying I don't know what you're making now, but you want to add $100,000 to your income in the next 12 months. Okay, TJ, unmute.
I kind of feared it would be me.
Good. No, that's good. That you got to, the man, the person in the arena, you got to do it, right? So, what is your highest ticket? First of all, what is the transformation? What problem do you solve for people?
I help organizations and leaders figure out how to make their work be equity centered.
Okay. What is the highest price offer that you currently charge?
I don't have a specific offer. It's very client by client based.
Sure. Totally understand. So what's the highest ticket client you've ever had?
About 25,000.
Great. So all you need to do is get 4 of those,
mm-hmm.
and there's your $100,000. There, problem solved. Okay, get really good at whatever that $25,000. If they paid you $25,000, they had an at least $25,000 problem. Everyone who's thinking, well, how do I price that much and how do I charge that much? You name the price. Well, of course, there are things that each market will bear. Each industry has its norms, no question. But your goal is not to be, well, let me just say this. Corporate clients are harder to close, period. That's a generalization, but it's generally true. It's longer, slower, they're more price conscious. You can work harder to close a corporate client for sure. I see this in my business all the time. In fact, I rarely do corporate clients now. Unless they kind of fall into my lap through a referral, I don't even pursue them anymore. It is not efficient for me. Okay. But you're in the corporate space right now. So,
not really.
Pardon me?
Not really. It's higher ed institutions, nonprofits, associations.
Let me restate that. Business. It's still a business. In other words, it's not individuals who are hiring you as like a private consultant to
Right.
them. Okay. So how did you get that client? How did you get that $25,000 client?
The leader of the organization knew me from past work that I'd done.
Great. And that's a very common way. There's nothing wrong. Look, having a referral-based business is phenomenal. If someone were to, and I'm gonna do this real quick with TJ, I'm gonna ask everyone else to do the same. TJ, we're at a networking event, and you have a moment, not a full minute, but just like a hi, I do this, and I help people struggling with this. So I'll do mine. Hi, I'm Marina Stamos. I am a speechwriter for business owners. I help primarily solopreneurs add $100,000 to $300,000 to their income without any scary tech and without all the overwhelm. That's it. That's what I say. And I get clients from that. And that's the essence of what I say everywhere. What would yours sound like?
Something along the lines of, hi, my name's TJ. I serve as a consultant and trainer, helping those seeking to transform the ways that they live, work, learn, and play, build communities and connections to shift culture and systems. That's off the fly. I don't know what
Off the fly. Friends, we're going to just take, and you're really going to be sorry you know, but we're here to transform, right? We're all friends here. That was filled with so much jargon that I checked out from. I help them with the live, work, learn, play. Too much.
Mhm.
And when I tell you, I understand you, just so you don't feel beaten down like I'm picking on you. Let me just tell you where I was, like two of my stages before I got to what I do now. My early stage was, hi, I'm Marina Stamos. I'm a marketing consultant. I help you go from being overlooked, overwhelmed, and struggling with $0 months to being a shining star, standout brand, so you can get more clients, make more money, and create security for yourself and your family. Right? Can you imagine being on the receiving end of that word dump? Right? I can see everyone's face just went like, ugh, right? Then I thought, oh, let me shorten it up. Let me do something punchy. Hi, I'm Marina Stamos. I'm the fairy brand mother. I turn your brand into, I forget what the hell. It's like I'm blocking it, right? Also, big fail. Some point along the way, and I actually invested in a coach for myself. I was in a trap of I could do for others, but I was very blocked about how to talk about my work in a way that was compelling, obviously, because I just gave you a little example of it, right? And what I just said, as far as like overwhelmed, struggling with $0 months, that has a place in a larger messaging framework. It's on my website, and it makes sense there. But as the first thing that someone says, there's a different standard. You guys got to get to the outcome. And what I realized that I had to say two things. Friends, this is a writer downer, and we're going to do a little test because we're going to go around. One is say the outcome that they want. In my case, it's typically, I don't only work with that size entrepreneur, but they are the majority of who I will focus on now. Why? Because they're the easiest to close and the easiest for me to serve. That's it. It's a simple business. 100 to 300,000. Oh, that gets their attention. Oh, yeah, that's what I want. And then I land on the word, I end it with the word overwhelm, which is their problem, their obstacle that they would report. They're like, I'm so overwhelmed trying to get clients. It's so overwhelming. There's all these things I'm supposed to do. I'm so overwhelmed. So I just say those two things, the thing that they want, the money, and then the sticking point, overwhelm. And when possible, if you can land that on the end, the primacy recency thing, the last thing that you say will be, can often be the thing that they latch onto. So, TJ, I'm going to come back to you. But right now, I want you to work on the outcome, health, money, love, health, money, love. Don't be afraid to not, people fear often being too small. Like, I help people so many ways, and I can't just say that. I get it. It's a mistake, though, to try to cram everything that you do into a short intro. The highest, most tangible transformation of working with you, and then what's the real problem that you typically see them, that they will self-report, not what you diagnose, but what they will self-report as their real problem. Does that make sense? Maya, okay. what would your intro sound like? Again, thinking about what's the main thing that they want, the tangible thing that they want, and what's the sticking point that you help them overcome.
Tricky. Okay, I hate being put on the spot, but I'm gonna run with it. So I'm Maya. I'm the founder of Fearless Project, and I have a flagship course called the Shifting Power Accelerator, which is for nonprofit and philanthropic professionals to build equitable partnerships, empower local leadership, and shift power to communities they serve. So this is very jargony because it is
Very
very
jargony.
sector specific. Yeah.
Totally understand.
Mhm.
Very jargony. You're here, right? Everyone's here for a reason. You gave me your time and I value that. And I'm not here to let anyone stay in the same fog that they came into. This is why I get paid what I get paid, right? By myself. Because I'm just not pulling any punches. That is so jargon heavy. And one, please don't ever lead with, I'm saying this to everybody, don't lead with the thing that you're selling. That makes the defenses go up. Don't mention the course. I don't even know. I can't even. So what's the main reason they hire you? What's the transformation and what's the holdup? Drop that in chat and we'll turn it into an intro. Let me give you another example. A weight loss coach who hired me. She's one of my biggest success stories. She's the person I actually built the whole 1 minute talk from, that whole method. She used to say, hi, I'm NDA with her because she never told her husband that she had hired me. So we're on an NDA. So Jane Smith, Jane Doe, whatever. Hi, I'm Jane. She used to say, hi, I'm Jane Smith. And are you ready to love yourself skinny? Because it's not about counting calories and carbs. It's about nourishing your mind, body, and soul. That's how she would handle that kind of intro. And she would make very little money. She made some money because she showed up, right? Showing up is half the battle. But she hired me once because she had seen me talk on a stage. It was a big business event and they had some self-care people there too. And she came to me, she said, oh my God, I need to hire you. I just paid $5,000 for a 1 minute spot on a stage at a wellness conference. And I need to crush it. Like I've never invested this much before, blah, 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 blah. So she hired me, right? And we made a full blown signature talk, a 1 minute talk, and also an intro, like to use in this kind of a moment. And this is, I have to kind of conjure this, but it's been a while, some years, but it's something like this. Hi, I'm Jen Smith. I'm a weight loss coach. I help women over 40 who've been struggling for many years and whose biggest problem is with cravings. That's it. That's it. Because when you stop, and she ends on cravings, it's interesting how it creates this void. And you know how nature hates a void. People who are women over 40, people identifying as women over 40 who are constantly Googling, how do I stop the cravings? How do I stop the cravings? Right? I helped her figure out that was the word to lean into, not love yourself skinny and nourish your mind, body, and soul. No, that's bad, bad, bad. That is part of what she teaches in the end, and that's fine, but it's not what you lead with. There's a different standard for what the first words that people hear. And it completely changed her business. Same effort. And she was killing it. She was making like 300,000 by herself. She had a VA. That was it. And she'd hire help for her retreats. She's killing it. And the message, the offer, the message, the close, and the right stages. Okay, now. Joel.
Hello, Marina.
Hi.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm joining this. I actually currently founded and started a manufacturing company, which I'm still running, and I do a lot of public speaking, but mostly to bring resources to my company. And so I've done a lot of pitching and raised a lot of money with that way. So I mean, I joined just so you understand the purpose. I joined this call because I thought it sounded interesting, and I'd certainly be curious to know how I can use my public speaking skills and passion that brings so much resources to my company. And in that example you gave earlier, maybe build some side income that could allow me some more flexibility in the future to, move on from my company and not lose income. So that, I mean, that's why I'm here. And I don't have an offering. I have not publicly spoken for money that has not been related to my business. I usually am public speaking to gain access to a stage for my company. So I'm putting together proposals that are often educational based, providing value, trying to help
Okay.
potential customers learn more about products and why we can hopefully help them make money and distinguish in the marketplace or just be more informed. And you know, that's often brewery conferences. We create ingredients.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to interrupt.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to move on, but thank you. And if you have any, if you want me to give you any feedback on any networking moment, I'm here.
Cool. All right.
Rob.
Hi. Okay. So let me see if I'm a little closer to the formula. My name's Radha Friedman. I am a philanthropic advisor, and I help fundraisers overcome overwhelm so they can stay in the work and raise more money for the issues they care about.
Okay, so that's actually, really pretty solid, because it is very linear. I could picture that person. The one thing I would say is philanthropic advisor. I
Yeah.
didn't know that you were advising philanthropic fundraising advisor. Like you where it started off philanthropic advisor, I was like, that's pretty broad. I don't know what that person does. But then it landed on you help fundraisers, like you specifically advise.
Well, I actually help both donors and fundraisers. I used to be a fundraiser, then I became a grant maker. Now I'm an advisor, and I kind of help them talk to one another.
And there it is. And that's a very common thing. So when someone in the back of their mind is trying to meld the multiple people that they serve, they'll
Yeah.
put something that's generic that sounds like neither, like it's just kind of confusing. So
Yeah.
what I would say, again, it was very solid because here's what I got: money, philanthropy. Good. You know what I'm saying? And you're already 90% there. So I'm not even going to even say more. So I would say, I would instead of starting with I would still say, so you're going to have to pick one again. And this is it. Like, this is really it. Truly, this is where these little tweaks in messaging make all the difference. We don't have to speak to every single person that we help every single time that we speak. For example, I know that a lot of times I have trouble getting corporate clients when they look on my website, and I'm very intentional about signaling to my most common client. My most common client is a single person. Okay. And to them, 6 figures is like, whoa, like that's what they want, right? That's their big thing. People who are, much bigger companies, they look at me like 6 figures. They don't even talk to me. Like I purposely don't signal to them because not that I can help them, and I do help them. And this is typically people that I've known for a long time and I've helped them over the years. They keep coming back to me, but I don't signal to them because frankly, they just take too much work and they're a pain in the ass to work with in general. So I don't signal to them. So what's all that to say? I sometimes will cringe. I'm like, oh, I can help people who are making more. I do help people that are making more, but I just have to let it go. Now you can also, let me just say this one thing. I never give the same intro twice. It depends on where I am. If you're in a more donor heavy, talk to the donor. If you're in a more advisor heavy, fundraiser heavy, talk to them. But then, I help you make more money, raise more money without the overwhelm, period. That's it.
This is where I am stuck because I really do 2 different things and I have 2 different audiences. I help donors find the right organizations to invest in, and I help the nonprofit leaders stay in the work because right now burnout is at astronomical levels and everyone's just leaving the sector altogether.
Totally get that. So take the advice of the method of the thing that they want, the tangible thing that they want, and then the obstacle. And when you're facing the donors, you kind of shift it towards them. And when you're facing the fundraiser, you shift it toward them, and be fine with that.
Okay.
And telling it is amazing how that micro niching, it is the most powerful marketing associate you never have to pay. just be okay with the micro niche in any given time. I hope that was helpful. Alex.
I'm very excited to do this. Thank you so much. So right now, what I say is I help people become more confident in and out of the bedroom.
Okay, I get that. I hear that. Okay, so and it's very straightforward. It's also it could benefit from a little bit more curiosity piquing as far as a niche or a particular problem that is causing their issue in the bedroom because it's just like too broad.
Yeah, usually the clients that I'm working with, I'm helping them on overcoming insecurity, being more authentic, either trying new things out in the bedroom that they're interested in, but are kind of afraid to try because it's like taboo or something to them. Or they're also like queer and they're exploring their gender identity.
So there's two things that, so often the best way to answer, to come up with the most powerful, fully formed talk or, intro is your starting point is fine. It's great. You're narrowing it down, but it's halfway there. It's not fully where it could be. And the way to get it there is to look at your most recent, the black box is always your most recent clients. Who has paid you? Think about what they said, not what you diagnosed, but what they said. And by the way, authentic, strike that. No, it's jargon. It's woo woo. Just no, not as the first thing that we hear. People should hear from us. It can be gender fluid, overcoming childhood sexual abuse or rejection or whatever. In other words, the more niche you can go, because you only need a relative handful of people out of this whole big planet to make a bunch of money. Let the niche do its thing. It's amazing. And it also makes you more shareable. One quick example. So I hope this drives in because we're running out of time. If anyone wants to connect with me and learn a little bit more about how to build their business. Now I'm going to be very clear. There's two reasons you're going to get on this call. Whoops. And I'm modeling this for you. First of all, know your value. I normally, my calls usually, my 45 to 1 hour calls usually run $1,500 to $2,500. That's it. I kill myself. I give a lot of value and no one has ever asked for a refund. I'm going to do these for free, but you have to be in one of two places. One, you either want to know about how to acquire more clients and you're like seriously dead serious about using speaking engagements. And then I'll talk to you about my programs if you feel that one of them is a fit. Or, well, I'm thinking no one seems to want to write their, I was going to say, if you want me to talk to you about how to be a writer, write webinars for others, but it seemed like nobody wants that. So I won't even mention that. But if you want some help in how to acquire clients using speaking, you want a couple of tips, go ahead. I have a 30-minute call. I dropped the link. I'll give you some more structured tips, but I only do them for free for this group. And they're really only for someone who is like really serious about this work. And I'm showing you now, look, it ain't rocket science what I do. It ain't brain science, it ain't brain surgery, but it is hard work. And you're going to have to take the offer, the niche, the closing, and the offer, the sale, the close, the stage seriously. If you're ready for that, give me a call. You know what? Someone would love to know about writing webinars. Okay, great. So great. Get on a call.
Fantastic. Marina, well, we are at time. Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you all so much for participating in the engaging conversation. Highly recommend that you take Marina up on this offer of setting up time to chat. And thank you so much for participating in today's session. Hope you all have a great rest of the day. We'll have a recording sent out to folks in the next few days.